This morning on University Report, we'll look into the impact of federal funding cuts on scientists and students here at the U.
It just is so hard to watch all these people who have invested the same passion and time into my degree and watch them kind of lose it just as I'm about to graduate.
If you missed the Minneapolis Institute of Art ice sculptures, we captured them before this week's warm weather set in. And we'll let you know how long those spring-like temperatures might last with our complete 5-day forecast. Stay tuned for these stories and more on University Report.
Good morning. Thank you for watching University Report. I'm Bianca Caputo.
And I'm Jacob Kappenman.
The university's Environmental Sciences Department is grappling with the potential impacts of federal funding cuts. I spoke with students and faculty about the cuts, and here's what I learned. An executive order by President Trump cuts money from the National Institutes of Health for what researchers call indirect costs or overhead. For some universities, this can mean millions less each year. Environmental policy students and professors are feeling stress about the future of their jobs and cuts to research funding.
So I came to college knowing I wanted to do environmental policy to try and protect the lands that I loved so much growing up for the future generations. It just is so hard to watch all these people who have invested the same passion and time into my degree and watch them kind of lose it just as I'm about to graduate.
Currently, environmental professors are looking for new ways to do research with less.
It has definitely changed the places I'm applying for research grants moving forward because currently many requests for proposals have been rescinded or just simply not posted. This has been an incredibly challenging time for students, and you can see it in their faces, in their body language, and daily interactions with students reveals some real emotional labor and challenges that they're working through.
Planet, whether you believe that God gave it to us or we just happened to come here by coincidence, protecting our planet is always a good thing. I don't think it should be a matter of what you believe, because we all live here.
Not a lot of faculty researchers affected by this were eager or able to talk about it. I approached 7 professors before finding Professor Snyder, who is willing to do an on-camera interview.
The Minneapolis Institute of Art has more than just indoor exhibits. In the courtyard, ice sculptures spread to every corner. Katrina Bailey caught them before the warm weather turned the ice into water.
The Minneapolis Institute of Art is always busy inside. During the winter, the courtyard features a different type of exhibit. The Minneapolis Institute of Ice exhibit features replicas of sculptures in the museum, but made of ice. Last weekend's warmer weather brought more people out to walk around and look at the art, while it lasted. MIA spokesperson Heather Hoffmeister said each piece is handcrafted. One was made at the museum during the exhibit's opening night on February 6th.
The night of our opening, February 6th, they had assembled all of the pieces in the collection, and you can see some cute little kids coming and checking out the dock. There's a lobster phone. It's based on a piece in our collection by Salvador Dali, and that evening they did a live demonstration, and the person who was sculpting it had a full chainsaw, like a chainsaw that you would chop down trees with. It was very big, and it was so fascinating to watch something so intricate be carved with a tool that is so powerful.
The change in weather affected Andrea Hauser's favorite piece.
There was a sculpture of the Veiled Lady in ice, one of my favorite marble sculptures, and so we came out to see it, and she's melted.
Veiled Lady also captured Claire Wellenstein and Maggie Pulp's interest, though they have different favorites.
My favorite was the torso.
My favorite was, it had a bunch of things coming off of it. I thought that was super cool.
The ice sculptures are now gone for the season, but new ones will be back next winter. Katrina Bailey, University Report.
If you missed out on the ice this year, the Minneapolis Museum of Art will be hosting events inside through the year. To find out more, go to our website, z.umn.edu/universityreport.
Up next, we'll hear the university's response to the possible regulation of campus delivery robots.
And tonight you'll have the opportunity to vote for your favorite bands to perform at Spring Jam as the Battle of the Bands competition comes to a close. Stay tuned to find out where to listen and how to cast your vote.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
The Minneapolis City Council has approved research into the sidewalk delivery robots on campus after potential concerns were raised about their impact on workers. Kylie Kendall is live at Kauffman Memorial Union to tell us more about what might change.
Hi, Bianca. So right behind me is one of the white delivery robots that students and faculty have been seeing across campus. Now, these robots have only been on campus for a couple of months, but they have quickly integrated themselves into campus culture. Students have grown quite an affinity for them, pointing at them, smiling at them, and even taking pictures with them. But recently, the Minneapolis City Council has started to question the impact of these robots. I looked into exactly what is going on. The sidewalks of the University of Minnesota aren't just filled with students anymore, or even humans for that matter. White delivery robots have been delivering meals and drinks to students on campus since early October. In partnership with M-Food Co., they're run by Starship Technologies. Students can order from restaurants on campus, such as Ureport and Gerbert's, and more from the Minnesota Marketplace. For this story, I asked my roommate to order from the robot. First, you download the Starship Delivery app and select a delivery location. After you place your order, you can watch live updates of the robot's progress. Once it arrives, you slide a button to unlock the robot, opening it up and allowing you to grab your food. It also comes with personalization options like picking its name and short quips.
Yo, I got a roll, homie. Keep it fresh, you dig?
In a Starship survey, more than 98% of students surveyed say they love the robots, but some people are concerned.
Workers at the university reached out to our office and, expressed, okay, so they're going to be introducing delivery robots, and, we are a little concerned.
Councilmember Robin Wansley of Ward 2 then wrote a staff direction, which the City Council approved on February 5th. It asks for research into the impact of food delivery technology on workers, an overview of the pilot program here at the University of Minnesota, what regulations have been implemented in other communities, and the responses from labor organizations. M-Food Co. Co. said it's not looking to replace workers with robots.
So we definitely see robots as an opportunity to build on the workers that we have here by giving them more work and more reliable work.
One worker's experience at the Starbucks on campus seems to support that.
When it first started, like, it was just booming. Like, we were swamped in robot orders.
But Amelia Schoen agreed that regulations would be worth looking into.
So it's always good to regulate it and make sure there's nothing wrong with it, you know? Especially when it comes to big businesses like the ones I work for.
Now, Celeste Robinson, the policy aide that I spoke to, said that these regulations are still very much up in the air. They're waiting to see what the research and data say. And also, she wanted to make clear that these regulations would have a broader focus and not just specifically tailored to the University of Minnesota in case this technology is introduced in other areas. The City Council is expected to have its research turned in and completed by April 9th at the latest. Back to you, Bianca.
Thanks, Kylie. We'll be monitoring how the delivery robots affect workers going forward.
Tonight is the fourth and final round of the university's Battle of the Bands series. Here's some video from past spring jams. Tonight's votes will ultimately determine which of 16 bands will play at Spring Jam this April. 4 bands will be playing tonight.
No.
You can catch the bands tonight at 8 p.m. at the Whole Music Club in the basement of Kaufman Union. Doors open at 7:30 and the event is free, but just remember to bring your U-card.
And hold on to your hat, it's windy out. Coming up next is your comprehensive 5-day forecast to help you plan ahead.
Also ahead, a new place to curl up with coffee and your favorite book.
Breaking news!
We'll take you there.
We're all about water in Minnesota. I've been here approaching 50 years. Originally, the biggest problem we had is algae bloom from the sewage in the lake. And now we got the zebra mussels, and that's been a major negative.
Zebra mussels are an aquatic invasive species. They impact the food webs within lakes, which impact fish populations, growth, occurrence, and especially in Minnesota, where so much of our recreation is lake-based, that impacts those local businesses, different tourism around the state. Zebra mussels were first found in the Great Lakes back in 1986, and since then they have spread throughout much of Minnesota. People love clear water, but that's not necessarily good. That means that conditions are different for the plants, for the fish, for everything in the lake. This project out on Lake Minnetonka is looking at a copper-based product called EarthTech QZ. We are hoping that this will give us ideally some solutions for controlling zebra mussel populations. This project is largely a partnership between the University of Minnesota, specifically MASERC, the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, and the U.S. Geological Survey.
It is very much a team effort. Even the marina owner that has graciously allowed us to use their area for staging our equipment and supplies. So without the cooperation of all those different partners, it would be impossible to do a study of this nature.
There are a lot of infrastructure and businesses existing relying on the lake. It's not only the marinas, it's everybody around Lake Minnetonka will suffer subsequently.
Well, the zebra mussels over on the east end of the lake make it clear. It looks like an aquarium over there. So during the daytime, it's kind of tough to fish.
Zebra mussels affect our boats by getting to the motors. They affect the beaches. They get on the rocks. People step on them, cut their feet. So it just makes it less desirable to use the lake. And as a business that's in a lake community, that affects us.
This project is specific to Lake Minnetonka, but we're hoping that this type of treatment will be able to be repeated on different lakes. The University of Minnesota's Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center is one of a kind. It's the only one like it in the country. And the work that we're doing is protecting Minnesota's lakes.
The University of Minnesota is absolutely essential in this matter. And it's a profoundly positive experience for us to be part of it.
Our formerly frosty February is finishing on a warm but very windy note. Nobody who's lived here long really believes winter is over just yet. But this week was a whole lot nicer than last week, when we struggled to get above zero. This video looks more like late March or early April. Katrina Bailey is here to tell us how long the wind will last and what comes next.
Yes, Jacob, there are gusts out here approaching 50 miles per hour. Here's a look at the next 5 days. So today there is a wind advisory with 40 to 50 miles per hour. When, as you can see, highs in the mid 40s with a small chance of precipitation in the evening. Now we go to Saturday. The temperature drops into just above freezing. And then as we roll into Sunday, And then on Monday and Tuesday is when we can see chance of precipitation. As you can see on Monday, there's a chance of showers in the PM with a high of just above 50 degrees. And those PM showers will roll into Tuesday's AM showers with a high of just below 50 degrees. And then here, that's what you can expect in the month of March. And of course, everyone knows March is the start of meteorological spring, even if the season doesn't officially start till later this month.
Thank you, Katrina. The boys Minnesota High School Hockey State Tournament is right around the corner.
The first games are next Wednesday at the Excel Energy Center in St. Paul. That's the Class A competition. The Class AA games begin next Thursday. The 8 teams in each bracket will compete to play in the 2 championship games on March 8th. Section finals wrap up tonight with 2 Class AA games for Sections 3 and 4. St. Thomas Academy takes on Cretin-Durham Hall, and Hill Murray clashes with Stillwater.
A new independent bookstore just opened up in the Minneapolis East Bank area, so I thought I would check it out. Here's what I found. Inkwell Booksellers Company had its grand opening last weekend with giveaways, author talks, and according to the owner, Elizabeth Foster, a warm reception from the community.
There's been a lot of great people coming in to just express how happy they are that there's a bookstore in the area, which, I mean, I agree that we needed a bookstore, but it's really, really great to hear from actual residents of the space.
Customers I talked with agreed that the area was in need of a bookstore.
So we've been needing a bookstore since the Barnes & Noble in downtown closed about 5 years ago. And so I'm really happy we have one now, instead of having to go all the way to the Mall of America just to buy a book.
Like there's a couple of libraries around the area, but not really like bookstores.
With a need in the market, Foster says it was only a matter of time.
So I think it's just one of those moments of no one had just opened here yet. The Twin Cities does have a really great historical record of supporting independent bookstores.
But Foster says she wants her business to be more than just a bookstore.
I really want people to find that our space is not just a retail establishment, that they can come here and sit and linger if they want to come and sit and work, if they want to have their book clubs here, their knitting clubs, community groups, if they need a space.
The Twin Cities area has seen many bookstores come and go over the years. Several went out of business as Amazon rose to dominance in retail sales. But at least 5 new independent bookstores have opened since 2020.
A university art professor just finished an exhibit at the Weizmann Museum. He reimagined family members from a historic Black newspaper, Seeking the Lost Column. You'll see how his paintings highlight Minnesota Black history, up next. Then, on a much lighter note, we'll take you to last weekend's Minnesota Beer Dabbler.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
A Minneapolis artist and university art professor recently wrapped up his exhibit, Seeking the Lost, at the Wiseman. Then, while the exhibit has ended, its message continues to resonate. Mary Kate Fenstermeister takes us there.
Looking at their eyes, I think looking at their eyes was very important, or their expression was very important. I think it's important to, have their character come through.
In the late 1800s, Minnesota's very first black newspaper ran a column on the back of every issue called Seeking the Lost. Families separated by slavery posted names, last known locations, and pleas to find their loved ones. Few were reunited, but the column remained free, and a space for hope. Now, over a century later, Minneapolis artist Christopher Harrison brought these stories to life at the Wiseman Art Museum. Using the column's descriptions, he painted portraits of those who were lost.
This classified is attributed to Buchanan and Martha Childs. Their looks and their clothing really tell a story. A lot of people who were in that institution of slavery, unfortunately, had to bear. These children were probably, worked in the fields.
Another piece shows a portrait of Mr. and Mrs. John Jackson, based on her submission looking for her husband.
As you can see, he was, looks like he was a Union soldier. It took everybody to keep us free.
Christopher's work highlights the lives of those often left out of history.
History just repeats itself. It's a cliche, but it just keeps repeating itself. Cutting of funding for schools and for different programs and banning of books and all of this stuff. This is my little way maybe of doing that, of, giving people a history.
Through his art, he shows the importance of remembering these stories.
History matters. I think history matters, it's important, and we should do all that we can to preserve it, and that we learn from it and pass it on to other generations.
This is a reminder that history lives in the stories we tell and the faces we remember. Mary Kate Fenstermaker, University Report.
There are no plans yet for that work to be exhibited anywhere else, but Harrison says it's possible.
And if you're in the mood for a drama, the theater department's production of The Witch starts tonight. The play is about a devil bargaining for souls in a small village. Performances run from this evening through March 8th, with shows at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday matinees at 2 p.m. Tickets are $16 for students and faculty, and $21 for general admission. Parking for this event will cost you $10.
Despite last week's wintry temperatures, beer lovers and others gathered for an outdoor festival last Saturday. Eitan Schoenberger was among the beer dabblers at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds.
What's better than drinking beer on a Saturday afternoon? Drinking beer in 30-degree temperatures with music, entertainment, and a variety of alcoholic beverages. The Winter Beer Dabbler is an annual festival hosted at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds in St. Paul.
You know it's pretty Minnesotan, yeah. Put on your big boots and your warm clothes and have some fun.
This year's Beer Dabbler featured everything from motorcyclists doing backflips to necklaces made out of food.
One of the best parts about Beer Dabbler is they say if it fits on the necklace, you can bring it in. So there's no reason to not bring in a shrimp cocktail.
The event draws from all kinds of crowds, like non-beer drinkers and folks from outside the United States.
I'm not a beer person, and this is delicious, so highly recommend.
Dabblers could try a variety of beers, ciders, and seltzers from over 100 local and out-of-state vendors.
I'm trying the Weird Barbie Sour from Lake Monster Brewing. That's pretty good, and that's one of the virtually thousands of beers you can get here.
While the event may seem like a simple, fun way to get out in the wintertime, the Beer Dabbler serves a greater purpose.
You know, breweries need a lot of help right now. You know, things are crazy in the brewing industry, and, you know, they're a community hub. They're with us as a place to kind of seek refuge when things are bad. They're there for celebrations, and so these people need our support. You know, that's why we get them out here, to get these breweries recognized.
With its quirks and traditions, the Beer Dabbler brings together Minnesota's beer drinking community and fosters an inclusive environment for every kind of festival goer. Eitan Schoenberg, University Report.
In case you missed the Winter Beer Dabbler, there's another one during the summer, and the organizers run a year-round liquor store in St. Paul, the Dabbler Depot.
That's it for today's University Report. I'm Jacob Kappenman.
And I'm Bianca Caputo. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy your Friday.